Welcome to German history with a German accent. My name is Wolf, W-O-L-F, just like the animal, and in today's video I'm speaking about Erhard Milch. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to drop me a comment below. Erhard Milch was born on March 30th in the year 1892 in Wilhelmshaven in northwest Germany, as son of Anton and Clara Milch. Once Erhard Milch graduated school, he joined the Fußartillerieregiment Linker Nummer 1 in East Prussia in February 1910 as an officer cadet Fahnenjunker. Milch, whom had developed an interest in aviation, participated as an adjutant in the 2nd Reserve Battalion in the Foot Artillery Regiment von Dieskau in the First World War, where he saw action on the Eastern Theater up until mid-1915. Erhard Milch, holding the rank of lieutenant, was then transferred to the Fliegertruppe, the Air Forces of Germany, where he underwent aerial observer training. By the year 1918, now ranked as a Hauptmann, Milch was appointed as wing commander of Jagdgruppe 6, although he was unable to pilot an airplane himself. For his efforts in the First World War, Erhard Milch had been awarded the Iron Cross First Class. After the end of the First World War, Erhard Milch led the Freiwilligenfliegerabteilung 412 at the Grenzschutz Ost, the volunteer flight unit at the Border Patrol East that protected the newly formed eastern border of Germany. A posting as leader of the police flying squadron in Königsberg, the capital of East Prussia, followed up until the Treaty of Versailles prohibited flying units even for the police force went into effect. Erhard Milch, together with a squadron comrade, then started an airline in Danzig and would become a managing director of the Deutsche Lufthansa in the year 1926. Milch became a member in the NSDAP, the National Socialist German Workers' Party, in the year 1929, and when the Nazis took over power in Germany in 1933, Milch became a state secretary in the Reichsluftfahrtministerium, the Aviation Ministry, reporting to Hermann Göring. Erhard Milch soon was investigated by the National Socialists, whom doubted his Aryan blood, since his father Anton Milch, whom served in the Imperial Navy, was Jewish. The investigation by the Gestapo was put to an end by Hermann Göring, whom had Erhard Milch's mother testifying that Anton Milch was not his real father, but instead her uncle Karl Brauer. In his role as State Secretary in the Aviation Ministry, Erhard Milch played a key role in establishing and the growth of the German Luftwaffe, but also used his role to carry out personal conflicts he had with Hugo Junkers and Willy Messerschmitt. Junkers was forced to give up more than 50% of his company, as well as privately held patents. I did make a separate video about Hugo Junkers and his company, which you can find if you click on the eye on the top right of this video. Messerschmitt, on the other hand, was banned of participating in a competition for a new fighter airplane for the Luftwaffe. Yet Willy Messerschmitt found a way to submit his design for the Bf 109 and won. Erhard Milch, whom was reactivated in the year 1934 as an Oberst, rose through the ranks when he was named Generalinspekteur der Luftwaffe, Vertreter des Oberbefehlshabers, or General Inspector of the Air Force and Deputy of its Supreme Commander. In the year 1939, he was holding the rank of Generaloberst. In the Second World War, Erhard Milch was commanding Air Fleet 5 during Operation Weserübung, when German troops invaded and occupied Denmark and Norway in the year 1940. In the same year, after the defeat of France, Milch, together with other generals, was promoted to the rank of Generalfeldmarschall. In the following year, Erhard Milch also took over the position of Generalluftzeugmeister after Ernst Udet committed suicide. In this position, he was also responsible for the airplane production, armament, and supply. Since 1942, he also worked closely with Albert Speer, who was the Minister for Armament and War Production on the Central Planning Board. Under Milch's reign, inefficient airplane models were either cancelled or put back into development status, and production levels increased significantly. To achieve these production levels, the Luftwaffe production used forced labor from SS concentration camps. Milch in this position was also responsible for high-altitude experiments conducted to imprison human beings in concentration camps. In the beginning of the year 1943, when the German Sixth Army was encircled in Stalingrad, the German dictator made Milch responsible for supplying the army out of the air as Hermann Göring promised. Generalfeldmarschall Milch failed this task since there were neither enough aircraft and flying personnel nor enough airports in reach of the city. The trust in Erhard Milch started to fade the year 1943 when Allied air forces gained more and more air superiority over Germany, and his career in the Nazi Reich came to an end after he, together with Heinrich Himmler and Joseph Goebbels, tried to convince Adolf Hitler to replace Hermann Göring as Supreme Commander of the Luftwaffe. But since the German dictator didn't go for it, it was Erhard Milch who had been forced out of his post by Hermann Göring. He lost the positions of Generalluftzeugmeister and State Secretary in June 1944, and in January of the following year he was also forced out of his role as Generalinspektor of the Luftwaffe. He was put in the Führerreserve in March 1945 and was not reassigned during the remainder of the Second World War. Erhard Milch was captured by British forces on May 4, 1945 on the Baltic coast. British Brigadier Derek Mills Roberts, whom asked the German Generalfeldmarschall about the horrible crimes committed in the liberated concentration camps, was furious about his response. Milch told him those people were not human beings like himself or Mills Roberts. The British brigadier then completely lost it, grabbed Milch's martial baton and broke it on the German's head, leaving him with a fractured skull. In the year 1947, Erhard Milch was tried by a US military tribunal in Nuremberg after he refused to serve as a witness for the prosecution during the Nuremberg trials. Milch was found guilty of having committed war crimes and crimes against humanity. He was sentenced to life in prison, but his sentence was overturned into 15 years and he was ultimately released in the year 1954. Erhard Milch, whom remained a convinced National Socialist, died on January 25th in the year 1972 in Wuppertal at the age of 79. Thank you so much for watching.